All right, we are live. Let me know if you can see me, you can hear me, and welcome to day 3, session 2. Are we already on session 2 already? Let me know if this is your first session of the entire summit, if this is your second, your third, if you've attended all of them. There definitely are some of you that have been here every single time, and you are hearing me ask you this question every single time. But I'm really excited for today's session. And this is we're actually going to talk about this before we dive into her session, because the way that I connected with the speaker that you're about to hear was actually, she is like a powerhouse on Clubhouse, and she was talking about something that I think a lot of us discuss, which is pricing. And one of the things that we always talk about is charging what you're worth. But for, I think, all of you here, you're doing what you want to do because you want to help people, you want to have an impact. And I think there's a bit of a contradiction, or it feels counterintuitive to charge a premium price without acknowledging that, well, doesn't that mean that I won't be able to help as many people? Doesn't that mean that I'm going to push people away who maybe can't afford my services, but I know I really want to help them? And so she has been talking about this. I love the way that she approaches this topic. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Melissa Pang, aka the Curly Executive. She's an award-winning brand marketer, turned entrepreneur, content creator, and business coach. Melissa, I am thrilled to have you here, but I think we need to address it's not an elephant in the room besides us. When we connected, you said something to me, and this is like a full circle moment, because I reached out to Melissa and I said, I would love to have you on the summit. What you're sharing, this is exactly what people in our audience have been talking about. And you said that you had actually been at a summit before. Can you give us a little bit of background? Because I was like, what? This is crazy. Oh, I think you're muted. Oh,
And I'm totally trying not to cry now. Can you hear me?
yes. Okay. I think so. We had some tech issues, but I think, okay, you guys should be able to see us. All right. I'm going to just
Yeah.
reiterate what I just said, because I don't think you guys watching
Oh
this
no.
saw. All right. Let me know if you can, people watching the replay, you're going to get this twice. Okay. Yes, we're good. Okay. I gave a whole spiel. I'm going to say it again for those of you who are watching live, because I need to say it. So first of all, hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. And what I was saying was that this topic that we're going to be talking about today with me, Lisa, I am so looking forward to, because we are talking about something that, throughout the summit, throughout when we talk about business, we talk about charging what you're worth, using premium pricing. And everyone here, I know, is doing what they're doing because they want to impact people. They're doing it because they want to serve people who have a certain pain point or issue. And we can't have the conversation around premium pricing without acknowledging one of the biggest concerns, which is that if I charge a lot of money for my services, I'm pushing away, or probably pushing away, the people that can't afford my work. And that's counterintuitive. That's not what I'm here to do. So the way that Melissa talks about this, I was saying this before, she's a powerhouse on Clubhouse. She talks about this day in and day out, among other things. But before we dive in to all the content, Melissa, I would love to first talk about what you shared with me when we first connected. I reached out to Melissa. I was like, she has to come and talk at the summit. But you actually may have been at a summit before, which I didn't realize. So could you share that full that story? Just super cool.
Yeah. And I'm happy we got a little pause because I'm trying not to cry. So the real is in 2017. I actually looked it up. I came to my first ever Teachable Summit, and I saw you, and I saw amazing speakers. But at that time, I was a corporate marketer, so still a director of marketing. And I was climbing the corporate ladder. And even though I loved marketing, it's what I still do now. I just didn't feel fulfilled, and I didn't feel like I could be the full expression of myself. And so I just started doing one-on-one consulting, and one of my first clients actually invited me to a Teachable Summit. Well, she said she was going because she had to start an online course. And I'd never heard about online courses. I'd never heard about these different passive income models. And so I went, and that is what kicked off my journey into entrepreneurship. So I literally will say, like, Teachable and coming to a Teachable Summit changed my life. You may have heard me say that already, but it's 100% true.
I just thought it was crazy when I hear this comes, and this is why I say every summit, please keep us posted with what you get up to. Whether it is you launched your business or you had some insight, like we're always looking. We're looking at our social. We're also looking at, highlighting what people are doing. And the fact that this just like it happened. I reached out to Melissa because I'm like, we have to talk about this. And the fact that it came full circle and you happen to be on a summit, I think is super, super cool.
Yeah. Thank you. No, it's amazing to be here. And I would say if anybody's in the audience and it's kind of like, what is this thing? Pay attention because it's a big deal. It took me a little while, but it's really made it possible, frankly, for me to, and you're going to find out about some of this, to support people that I care about through this pandemic and really to own my truth. So I'm
Awesome.
excited today.
Me too. All right, I'm going to add your screen in here. We are good to go. I will keep an eye on the chat, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to this.
So as Jess said, I'm Melissa Pang, also known as the Curly Executive on all of my social media, and it is so nice to meet you today. This is our session called It Pays to Give. So we really are going to be talking about designing a consumer-centric program. So that is what it comes down to on the how of how we give. But we have a few goals today. The first is we want to be able to charge our worth while still creating opportunities to serve and give freely. So I want you to feel like I've learned some ways to do that at the end of today's discussion. We also want to make sure that we are still creating programs that are diverse and have positive customer outcomes for your paying clients. And you can do more of that through giving. So that's another thing that we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about how to give away your paid program. So I'm not an expert on giving. Believe it or not, this is my first formal discussion about it. I've just been doing this for the last 5 years or so. And so now we're getting to speak on it. But I want to talk about how we do that in ways that support your paid programs. And then I do have a marketing framework. I'll talk about it a little bit. And you can also hit me up for more details on that. And I will, of course, give it to you for free. So with that, I'm Melissa Pang. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I have brands in fashion. So I have a hair accessories brand. You guys are actually in my flower studio with me right now. A fitness brand called Pon the Beat. We do Afrobeat and dance hall, and marketing coaching, which is what I used to do in corporate. And all of my brands have an online teaching component. So we have tutorials in everything, and they're all on Teachable. And so I quit my marketing of director role 3.5 years ago. I spent a decade in corporate. And first, I was actually making hair flowers. And from there, I created Flower College and got on the Teachable platform. And then I got into dance. And then I finally launched my marketing business on Teachable. I have an MBA from the MIT Sloan School of Management. I worked at a bunch of big companies, some of which you may know. They're on the slide. But the big important part is I am a giver, and I've always been a giver. And this is relevant because if you're not a giver, don't worry about it. But if giving is something you want to do, I just want to show you that you can do it through through your program. So for me, I come from a family of givers. In 2018, I founded 2 grants for Texas based women of color and creative entrepreneurs. Pre-pandemic, I used to speak with SCORE. SCORE is a great organization if you want to speak for free, and a different nonprofit organizations. And in the last 2 months, I've given away, it does over 20,000. I think we're over 30,000 now because I just gave away some more of my products, live trainings, and time via my new Curly Executive Grants program, which is essentially a pay what you want program that I invented. None of it is tax deductible. It is to replace the fact that the grants that I did have before, the nonprofits weren't able to manage them with the issues that they were having during the pandemic. And for me, I plan to make it easier for people to get my grants. I'm going to 3x my charitable speaking, and I plan on to give a whole course for free on Clubhouse very soon. So this is where I'm going with with giving. And I like to say I pay my mama's bills like Cardi B with my course, with my membership, with my revenue, all of that, like the giving aspect of this for me has really unlocked 5-figure months in this type of business because I felt like I was finally true to myself. And for me, the goal of this is to encourage all my fellow givers to step into their power and create programs that not only allow them to give, but will still make you money. So that is what we're doing today. But why? You may say, why are we doing this? What is the actual reason that we want to do this? And the question that I ask everyone is, who are you helping? That is my definition of target customers. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I'm helping and my why. And then we're going to get into a little bit more of these best practices. So my why, I'm helping women business owners, in particular, women of color business owners. That is who I'm trying to reach out to. And as you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't have to tell you. These are some of the stats. 275,000 women are out of the labor force. 2.3 million women have left the labor force since last February. We're like 3 decades behind now. It's crazy. But the ongoing employment crisis has, in particular, hurt the people I'm trying to help. These stats, you may not be able to see them, but I wanted to show you, I clipped them right from the American Express 2019 State of Women-Owned Business. What I will tell you they say that is that $24,000, that is the number, $24,000 per year. That is the average amount a Black female business owner makes. That's it. Not per month, per year. So what that means, I was just thinking about this. I'm like, $24,000 a year. If I'm trying to live in Manhattan, how is that going to work? Right. So we have a problem as it relates to, in my opinion, at least, there's a problem as it relates to how much my Black female business owners are making. We have the largest gap of any minority. So versus white owned, women-owned business, we're at 142,900. So there's a massive gap, 142,900 versus $24,000. Why is this relevant? The reason this is relevant is that my price points at the time of writing this, and some of them have gone up, were $7,500 for my launch course and $1,000 for a one-on-one. So how could I really say that I'm helping Black women, or I'm trying to work with Black women, if my course price is literally almost half of what they're making per year? So that was the conundrum I was facing. That was one of the things that I was thinking about as I continue to do this work. I'm pricing myself to a place that, yes, makes sense, that, yes, drives value, that, yes, I'm charging my worth, but that really, really doesn't work for the who of who I'm trying to help in the long run. And so I bring this to say giving is personal. So the but why, this is actually the answer. Giving is personal. We have to make it personal. Even though we're in business, as y'all know, our life vision is so tied to our business vision when we are entrepreneurs. I want to give you one more level, because it wasn't just about this target customer thing. It wasn't just about these numbers. This pandemic for me personally is creating what feels like divergent realities. I'm here, I'm chilling. I got my studio. I have a dance studio upstairs. We're making money. We're selling online courses. It's going great. I'm taking the money. I'm running. We're having fun, right? Meanwhile, my family was actually putting credit cards, and sorry guys, this is a lot, but I did want to share this. They're putting their bills on a credit card. So they're literally putting their rent on a credit card. And I didn't know, because they didn't want to bother me. So it wasn't until I went home that I realized that, man, we're just living in completely different worlds. And so I just want to say lots of people need help, and they may even be the people close to you. My family wasn't like, I now, thanks to my course, am able to cover their rent. I cover food. I help out, but I didn't even know that this was happening. So that is where it hit home for me. Going home and seeing that made me say, I need to change something about what I'm doing. This is my favorite quote, y'all. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. I liked myself. I really liked what I did. But in that moment, I realized that I didn't like how I was doing it, because I found that I had this power to help, but my power wasn't reaching the people that I wanted to reach, not all of them. I wasn't having the impact that I could have in this critical time where I could help people make the difference. I anytime people talk to me about why I made this choice, why I left corporate, I say something like, well, when I was in corporate, I would make millions of dollars and they'd be upset because I didn't make the extra 2 million that they were expecting for the goal. Whereas when I worked with people directly, if I made an extra $200 or an extra $2,000 for them for a month, it would just be huge, right? It would change their life. And so this is something I would regularly say. And I sat here saying, if this is something I can do, and if this is something I can do during this pandemic, why am I not doing it for more people? And actually, when I went home, I rocked my mom through her course, the course that I actually did, and said, hey, Mom, can this help you? How can this help you? Let me see if I can tweak this. Can we relaunch your stuff online? Because my mom had a business. She's also an entrepreneur. And that's why she is so impacted by the pandemic. So again, I just ask yourself to pause for a moment and ask yourself if you like how you're doing things. So my personal how, what I got to. And this was big for me because I was struggling with optimizing my program, scaling it, automating it. I'm not into pain point focused marketing. That was a big what, like, okay, I'm not into the pain point focused marketing. When I got into a Clubhouse room, actually, I thought it was such an amazing opportunity to talk to marketers all over. And I got up on a stage with a very well-known marketer. And I said, but the thing is, I don't want to dig into this pain point and just make people hurt because this is a critical time. And because that's not what I'm trying to do. And he said to me, well, do you want to take 100 hours trying to figure out how to write copy? Or do you want to make money? And I said to myself, I think I want to do both. So this was a critical moment for me because I really started changing the way I do things. I'm not into no or limited or fake accessibility. I want people to be able to reach me. It's cool that we can optimize our programs, but I want to be able to work with people. I still want to do my lives. I want to be able to do evergreen and lives, right? And I didn't want programs that don't work for people who actually need help. I didn't want to say I was helping Black women when in reality, I was only helping the whatever percentage of Black women who succeeded on an above average level compared to the norm. And so again, this is personal. This was my personal. So now this is Chris. She received a grant. That's Chris, like late at night working on Zoom on her business, actually. And so now I have a much more complicated program. So my price points, I still have my $7,500 program, but I also have a $279 a month membership that includes a community, that includes co-working. So that's where this image is from. I have a lower price marketing course. It says $349. It's actually $229 right now. $199 visioning course. I do $30 worksheets, which by the way, I've been giving out for free on Clubhouse. And so the bigger, cooler thing about this is all of these, every single one of them, including my highest price point product, I offer for a pay what you can grant. It's called the pay what you can grant. And Chris paid what she could. But Chris also has been killing it. And she wouldn't have been able to even get in or start or work with me if I didn't have these opportunities. So that's how this is one of the ways. So we're talking about ways to give. One, look at your price points, look at what you're offering and see if you can make some more accessible products. Okay. But I want to be real with you. Giving can be a challenge at times, right? It's not easy peasy. It's not perfect. And sometimes when we have challenges, we create mindset barriers to giving. And so just some common ones that I wrote down here. One, there are valid concerns about the lack of program completion. I'm not going to say they're not. We'll talk about that later today. There is fear from the blowback or loss of sales from paid customers. Maybe my paid customers don't want to pay $7,000 for a thing that somebody else is getting for free or almost free. And then some of us have bad past experiences. I gave that course away before and that just didn't work out. So we talked about me. We talked about my why. I want to talk about who are you? And I may not be able to see all of this, but just I've seen how crazy y'all's chats are. So tell me if you're seeing it. So type heard in the chat if you've been told or have heard any of the things. So if you don't charge enough people, don't value what you're offering. that higher price points equals more skin in the game and higher completion rates, that people won't want to pay if you're not charging everyone equally, that it will upset paying clients, that if people aren't willing to pay, it's because they don't have the right money mindset. Oh my gosh. And you probably don't want them in your course. I've heard that before. I've been told that before, that you shouldn't give away too much because they won't have a reason to buy later. We're going to keep doing a couple of these. Type yes, though, in the chat if you like these, if you want increased program trial, if you want increased positive impressions, word of mouth, referrals, brand awareness, diversity, deeper customer understanding, customer data, deep ties to the community you're trying to serve, if you want to feel good, if you want deeper purpose in your work, if you want increased trust. Do we want these things? Okay.
Oh my gosh, the chat is just
Is it
going right
going
now.
up? Is it
Yeah.
blowing up? Type tired. I know some of y'all are tired because I was tired. If you're done with pain point marketing, if you're done with selling over serving, if you're done with funnels and more funnels, if you have been driving like FOMO, like it's your middle name, like driving and selling the FOMO, if you're sick of it, if you're done with charging more and more and more and giving less, and mind you, I'm okay with the charging more and more. I charge more and more, but I'm talking about charging more and giving less. And if you feel like you're getting further away from the people that you're trying to help. Okay. And finally, type yes if, and there might be one more. I'm not going to lie. No, I think this is the finally. Type yes if you have felt that the only way to give was by giving the money you eventually made in your program or the time you'd have once you hit it big versus just giving the product that you created away. This was me for a very long time. I'm going to work my butt off and then I'm going to kill it. And then I'll be able to give. And then I'll be able to help. And then maybe when I automate my programs, I'll have time and I'll volunteer. This was me for so long. And for me, I don't know what happened. But somehow I was in Texas and I think it was, there was a nonprofit here called Boss Babes and they do so much for women. And I was like, but people need help. We give them all this advice and they don't even have the money to start up. We tell them to implement these things and do these things and they can't. And so I went to the head of Boss Babes. I don't know if she's on, Jane. And I said, Jane, what if we created a grant program and I'll fund it? And so the first year I gave away $1,000 and I gave away $500, $1,000 to women of color, $500 plus they, Boss Babes gave away, a craft market. And we'll talk about this. Katie won that one, to the person. So they got the $500 and the craft market. And I also gave away mentorship. So this idea that if I'm going to tell you to implement all these things, build a website, you probably need that $200 to keep your website running for the year. So I said, I can help 2 people. And that's how I started. Okay. And so if you are someone who could help 1 person, 2 people, say yes. Say, I can. Type that in the chat for me. I can, right? So we don't have to go crazy. But if we all in this room, I know that 60,000 people registered for this event. If we all just helped 1 woman, 1 person, how amazing would that be? Giving. So everybody who said yes to wanting these things, if you say yes to wanting these things, these all can come through with giving. But several of these, the ones that I highlighted, increased program trial, word of mouth, referrals, deeper customer understanding, deeper ties to community, increased trust, they also increase sales. Okay? They're also the biggest driver of sales. So the reality is, in my opinion, is if you want to give and if you want to make money, they go hand in hand. They work together. Okay? So this is where we get to the how. How do we do this? All right. And yes, part of the answer is just do it. That's the short answer. Just do it. I'm going to give you the long answer, but the short one is just start. Just do it. Trash these beliefs. We're going to trash them today. There's a trash can there. Imagine it's open. We're going to do a visualization. We're going to close our eyes. Just trash it. Okay. So how do we trash them and how do we make it easier on us to trash them and still make our bag? We think through consumer-centric design. We design better programs. When we have consumer-centric programs, the core thing is they meet the needs of a specific consumer, right? We prioritize program completion and some other metrics that are important to our clients over automation. And I say that because we all want to automate, we all want to scale, many of us do at least. But we have to prioritize the program completion. Sometimes it's at the expense of. We deliver value, 3x, 5x, 10x, right? We don't rely on pain point marketing. We don't promise the world marketing, scare you until you break marketing, right? These are not the things that we do in consumer-centric programs because we don't have to. Our programs are so well built, we don't have to. And these programs bring customers to you. And frankly, they go deeper. So they get to the heart of the customer and they focus on the customer and the consumer life cycle. So what your customer needs at every point in their journey. Okay. Think of your program like a big brand. Big brands are not spending millions. Like we may not be big brands, so we may not spend millions on our brands, but we know our customers even better. Okay. And I'll explain what I mean by think of it a little bit like a big brand in a second. So, and here's where we go. Have you ever seen a commercial that was so good it brought you to tears? My favorite ones of these, Procter & Gamble. I used to work at Procter & Gamble. Man, every time the Olympics come out, I am crying, bawling, watching the mamas, right? Procter & Gamble goes hard on moms. Like that's their moment. And I am crying. I'm also a sucker for marketing. I cry like once a month for a commercial, not gonna lie. That is the opposite of pain point marketing, typically. Okay. I'm going to give you another example, or rather another interesting thing. So we're in this world where how many people have a limited time offer or this is about to go away that doesn't go away? Let's be real. How many people have a limited time offer and you know when that person hits that funnel again or comes in from a different place, the limited time offer is still going to be there? Yeah? Okay. Have you ever seen a grocery store with limited time offers and countdown timers on every item? Anybody ever seen a countdown timer in a grocery store?
Imagine it. Buy now, 50% off before it goes out of date.
Now. Yep. Buy this now or you will stay hungry. Is that what you want? I was trying to think about this. Like if I went into the store, like this is what sometimes, and I'm sorry, Jess, but I'm just being real. This is what online course marketing feels like sometimes. Last chance, limited. If you don't buy this, you're going to die. Do you want to say where you are right now? Or do you want to have this amazing thing that we know you want, right? Imagine you walked into a store and every product said this. You buy things every day. And you sometimes will go into the store and hunt for the thing that you saw that was on the commercial that you got really excited about. And it has nothing to do with pain point marketing. My girl, Michelle, hi, Michelle. Michelle is here. And she yesterday said to me, I deserve a taco. Yesterday, I couldn't, and it wasn't the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday, I could not get that taco. And I really wanted the taco because she said she deserved the taco. We did dance. And I was like, I worked really hard. I deserve that taco. The next day I got the taco because I had to have the taco. You have had things that you need because they were referred to you, because they were positioned into a certain way, because it was great marketing that you bought. You don't go to the store and only buy the things that are limited time offers. Yes, sometimes I use the coupons, right? But not everything in the store has that. So I just want to give that example just to say we can do things differently. This is my deal. I truly believe that when we have consumer-centric programs that are focused on giving value to our paying clients, we can create space for giving to others. You know, we can create space to give to others. This has been a wild year, and I hired an energetic declutterer, Monica Faye. She loves me. Like she loves me. I love her. And I was like, I never thought I would ever do this, but the pandemic has been rough on me. And she has the whole mantra that I have to recite that says that when I create space, like by decreasing clutter on my desk, I create the space to manifest. And it's true. Like it really is true. And it's the same thing. Sometimes you just need to like focus on adding the value, and then you'll kill it in marketing. And then that'll create the space for you to do more. So this is what I believe. So this is what we saw before. Don't type heard this time. You're good. Y'all already did. We're going to take these one by one. And then we're going to take your power back. That is the mission. If this is the one slide, take your power back. This is what I want you to leave with today. Whatever it is, if it's giving, if it's other things that you're maybe thinking of doing, or if it's things that are limiting you. I know there are people on this call who don't have a course yet and who are hesitating from starting on this amazing journey because you believe that there's only one way to do this thing and it doesn't align with you. Take your power back. You get to build this how you want to build it. That was the point to begin with. We can design programs that meet our visions, have community-focused initiatives, and do scale. Say I can if you believe it, or I believe it if you believe it. So number one, we said if you don't charge, enough people don't value what you are offering. I'm going to debunk some myths today. University. If you went to a public university, say, hey, this idea that if we don't charge for it, we don't value it, suggests that people who went to public universities or were on scholarships somehow don't perform as well as, or take their education seriously as well as much as people went to private schools. I can't see you, but I'm like shaking my head because it just doesn't make sense. How is it that every day people jump up and go to school and university, but somehow when they come to our course, they would somehow act completely differently? The world has changed, right? So sometimes it is true. Sometimes we don't have some of the results we want. And there are other sneaky reasons why folks don't complete your program or don't value it as much as what we would say. And so I just want to throw this in here because if you're seeing this, if you're like, Melissa, but I tried, like Melissa, I have done this and this is what's happening to me. You may have other financial hurdles. You may be saying, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And they can't even afford it. There may be some mindset barriers. I've never done this before. I've never tried. I've never been exposed to these things before. You may not have any accountability measures in your program. We're not checking in on them. We don't have milestones. Maybe you don't have set timelines. Maybe we do have an unlimited course that goes on forever. And they have, frankly, more important things that have come up in life. And even though this might change that life, they can't see it and they have time to do it. Maybe you don't have community engagement and there's limited help so that when they need you, if there was a tiny little tweak that you could give them, you're not there. So these are some things to think of. There are, like, this is real. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but usually there's something else going on. Okay. And we want to design against these things, right? Financial hurdles, that one's a tricky one, but I can tell you within my program, we have logos, right? We have to create a logo and build your site. And so I actually have the people that I partner with give a grant for the logo too, right? So if your course has components that are required, that's something to think about. All right. Mindset barriers. I have one of my coaches, and I'm fully into the coaching world. I have bought so many courses from different coaches, and one of them does an amazing job, Mariah Cause, on mindset barriers. She integrates like a mindset thing. She's on Teachable too, and Mariah Cause. Tell her I sent you. Yes, COZ. She does mindset barriers on each of the different at each of the different milestones. She'll be like, let's talk about the mindset you need. Let's talk about the creepy things that are going to come up. And I'm like, oh my God, Mariah, that was so true. Right? No accountability measures, no set timelines, right? I know my Mariah's courses expire. I'm like, let me get on that real quick. So some of these things we can work into our program. All right. So there are other ways people can have skin in the game, which brings us to this one. Higher prices equals more skin in the game and higher completion rates. I think we just spoke to that. Okay. So here are some extra consumer-centric strategies that can drive program completion, engagement, and referral. Accountability tracking. Now, this one is scary for many people. Like, I've literally been in courses where they're like, do not say that you offer any accountability because you're going to bring in the wrong people. I work with multi-passionate entrepreneurs who are all over the place and have many different companies. They need accountability. It's like a basic need. And so we do this through Airtable and through emails. So we actually send them emails and they have to be accountable and submit things. So they submit into their critiques and their Q&As. That's typical. So if you have that, you can actually check on them and say, hey, you haven't submitted anything for 4 critique sessions. What's going on? So we actually have that programmed in to check on their critiques. But I also have another accountability measure that's like, what percentage of your actions did you get done? When I do specific programs, I'll have them create a promise tracker beforehand to get them to track their own promises to themselves, right? So some of these things can kind of come through. Quick wins make a big difference, right? Quick wins. If you can get a quick win, you see the value, you'll invest more. An event. I do a 12-day live launch camp. I still do it live, even though there is a course, right? I do it live too. I do it live every other month because I like it. So don't do these things if you don't like it, but also because it helps people get through it. And challenges and community interaction, right? We have a lot of community interaction within my community. I've added a community component to my course because of that, which I also get to sell as well. So these are, and challenges, I mean like online challenges. So social media challenges, this challenge, are you engaging your people is really the big question that I have if you're worried about the program completion. Okay. When we do give away our program, we also need to be mindful about the how. So just a couple of best practices on giving away paid programs. One, request an application. Even if it's as simple as write down why this is important to you, that's helpful. My site will go back up. It's actually being edited right now, but it'll go back up tonight and I will post my grant questions from before. So y'all will be able to see them. Because we went really crazy with the grant. Even if you Google Curly Executive Grants on YouTube, you will see YouTube video submissions. When I did mine with the nonprofit, people actually did YouTube video submissions. Katie Lewis is a good one. I'll show you her later. So basically applications, helpful. Engagement, commitment upon receipt. So when they get it, just say you are promising to come to at least 4 Q&As. I want to see you there. Make sure they know you're watching them. Referrals from existing community members, so you know the person is legit. And almost free is often better than free, right? What can you pay? I've literally charged people $2. So I was like, what can you pay me? And they're like, I don't have it. I'm like, what do you have? I only got like $2. It's like, give me the $2. Okay. Some ways. You can partner with nonprofits. The great thing about that is if you give money to the nonprofit, then a portion of this can be tax deductible. When I did my first grants, I actually matched the donation. So I gave money to the nonprofit and then gave the nonprofit money to give away. So I was both supporting a nonprofit I liked and creating a grant. You can give direct scholarships or grants like I do. You can do a pay what you want, or you can just give it away. People don't want to pay if you are not charging every loan equally, and it will upset your paying clients. Just a couple. I got one quote and just some pictures. This is Becky. She says, one of the reasons I decided to work with Melissa was because she's truly living in her mission and purpose by incorporating grants into her programs. I was fortunate to be in a program with several of her grant winners. I thought the experience was rich as a result of the diversity of voices and experiences that were on the table. We had a really diverse run when Becky was in. Diversity. You are cutting out diversity in big ways in your program if you are charging certain amounts. That's just the real. Probably as it relates to, definitely as it relates to socioeconomic pieces, right? Potentially also as it relates to race. So if you care about your diversity, think about it and make sure you're just doing a deep dive and making sure you're getting people. But Becky came through, she paid full price. She went with people who paid nothing. And she didn't know because I didn't tell her, but I had to tell her to get this quote from her. So I checked in with my grant winners and I checked in with Becky. And that's the other thing. I treat my grant people exactly the same. They come through, they have the experience. Nobody knows they're the grant winner. Everybody knows there is a grant winner though. For every single program, I have one. Yvonne, when we did Yvonne's program, Yvonne works on baby and like lactation help. She does a lot of a lot of amazing things for women and new mothers. So upcoming new mothers and new mothers. And in her program, we had someone who was a teen mother. It was an experience that Yvonne has never had. It was extremely helpful to have that other viewpoint from someone who went through it as a teen mother to really help her build her program and build her offering in a big way. Wendy just went through our visioning programs, and Wendy is like Miss Cheerleader. She's amazing. And she was telling me that it was such a big deal to have Chris, who you saw earlier, in a program because she just saw the passion. Chris came in this because she wanted to change her community. There's a big difference from someone who's like, I need to change my life. I need to change my community. That is a passion that some of us don't have in that same way. I don't even have it sometimes in that same way. Right? The change your life passion. She got to witness that, be part of it, and get into it because Chris was in Wendy's program. Okay. If people aren't willing to pay, it's because they don't have the right money mindset, and you probably don't want them in your course. I hate this one because I've left a program because it wasn't for me and was told. I literally got an email that said, if you had the right money mindset, you'd know that you're going to make money from this and you should stay in here. I hate it. Right? It's not always about money mindset. And all of us struggle with money mindset in some ways. And so I don't know. I don't like this one. I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's talk about Katie. Katie had some money mindset challenges that we worked through. Katie was the recipient of my first ever grant. So she got the $500 and the booth at an art display. This is now her art pieces. She was 21 when she came to me. She's still really young. I think she's 23 now. And she was charging nothing, like $2 for a painting. It was crazy. And Katie has not only, so she finished my program. She came back to me this year, money in hand, very excited because she wanted to pay for my membership. And she was like, Melissa, I'm going to pay for this. You should have seen it. She has now booked her first 5-figure clients. So she's been doing a couple 5-figure clients on one sale, doing murals. And it's just like amazing to see that, right? So we did work on her money mindset. That wasn't her issue at the time. But to see what she's doing now, I mean, I don't know. And the last one, don't give away too much. They won't have a reason to buy. Giving, not selling, is a marketing strategy. So by strategically placing yourself on your customer's path to purchase and doing great things that you want to do and add value in the process, you can become a beacon for the people you want to attract. I have a framework called Liddy. It's about the different ways we can place ourselves in the path to purchase, the different things that we can create that offer value, both to our consumer and to the platform that we're on. But essentially, I will just debunk this one with personal stats. I've made multiple 5 figures on Clubhouse, just giving away free information with no sales page, no landing page, no funnel, no anything. Just, oh, hey, yeah, I do have a course, when they contacted me after the fact. If we give and we kill it when we give, because that was the thing, right? Like, y'all don't know me and we didn't do marketing, but if we did marketing, you would know that I can like spit out a framework like nobody's business and walk you through something in 5 minutes that maybe would have taken you forever to figure out. That's my little superpower. If I sit in the right place and I just give away free stuff with that superpower around the right people, they'll come to you. So we've got to figure out that piece for you. Like, what is the superpower? Where are you exposing said superpower? And where can you run around just giving it away for free? It's the best marketing. So with that, who do you want to help? That is my question. Who do you want to help? That should align to your target customer. Who do you want to help? Give if you want to. That's what I'll leave by saying. Give if you want to. Give with no regrets. Okay? Give if you want to. Give with no regrets. And I think, Jess, we're going to talk about this, but I have a little freebie for you. The 100 ways to give. It is on my website. And my website is down for a slight minute because they're updating it, but this link is the one thing that works on it. So this is a worksheet. It's 100 ways to give. If you don't want to give your course away, There are a bunch of other things you can give away, and it will go through them. I have a framework called Customers, and so it will go through the framework, and it's going to give you a bunch of thought starters, and it's a worksheet so that you can figure out how to give in a way that is true to you. All right, I promised you I'd be done at 45, Jess.
You are right on the dot. Okay, first of all, I can't. Huge thank you. Everyone, you've already been saying thank you in the chat, but can we just give a lot of love for Melissa in the chat? Also, please tag us on Instagram using the hashtag Women Create 2021. Let Melissa know what your biggest insights were. Let her know
Please.
what some of your takeaways were, because there's so much and there's so many great questions in here. But really, what I think you have done so well, and I think it's the best of both worlds, which is that you can still charge what you're worth, because that is important. There is a mindset blocker of giving away everything for free where you can't even support yourself. But you've done this in such a strategic way that you are giving back to people that you do want to help, that do want to go through your programs and can get results. The application process, the fact that this isn't just like, giving away for free and then people won't have any skin in the game. By having to make people say why they want to be in it, if they'll go through it, you're getting that same retention as you would if people were paying premium prices. It's just brilliant. We're going to get into the Q&A, but as promised, I want to know what your biggest takeaway was. We're going to go through what the Summit bundle is for this session. There is a special bonus with Melissa, as well as we're going to have Q&A at the very end. So huge thank you to Melissa in the chat, but please type in what your biggest takeaway was. Was there an aha moment that you had? Was there something that you maybe hadn't considered before? And really, to sum up everything, I'm going to say this in every single session, no matter where you are starting, know that you can do this. Know that you can take, you don't need to take everything that you've learned in the summit and apply it tomorrow, but at least give yourself 1 or 2 action steps to be able to get one step further and then one step further. So as promised, we have our 2021 Creator Success Bundle. This is a special bundle that we put together specifically for the summit. And this is our way, 1, of saying thank you for joining us, but 2, we know that there's a lot that we cover in these events, and there's more resources and courses that you probably are going to be looking for to be able to take action. So what you're getting is, first of all, you're going to get access to Teachable. This is a platform that Melissa uses, Mariah uses it, you were saying, but really it is the tech that you need to both create and sell your programs, your courses, your memberships. You can sell coaching on Teachable as well. And the nice thing is that on the professional plan, you have unlimited students and customers, unlimited courses and products, and you keep 100% of the commissions. You can make, I say this, you can make $1 billion. We will not take any commission from that. And you get access to some of our more advanced features like upsells, integrated affiliate marketing, graded quizzes, and so much more. You're getting our award-winning customer support. We have Teachable Payments, which, 1, it allows your students, your customers, to have safe payments on their account. You can see, I posted it earlier, but we have a checkout cart that we made improvements on and increased conversions for everyone by 7% on average. And also taking care of the things that give a lot of people headaches, like VAT tax. If you have affiliates, sending them the tax paperwork, paying them out. Really, we try to make everything that every creator probably does not want to focus on, making it easy, or at least supporting with it. And then what you're also getting today is our Teachable You, which is our flagship program. And this is our step-by-step program that allows you to go from zero to not even knowing what your course idea is going to be about, to growing your audience, validating it, getting into the nitty-gritty of recording videos and creating your outline, as well as a launch calendar. How do you get your first sale and students in the door? We spent a lot of time making this course, and really it is based off of the data that we have access to, the creators that we've spoken to, the research we've done to ensure that everything you're doing is what is working for successful creators. And then you also get access to Teachable HQ. So this is our private community exclusively for Teachable customers, and we created the space to allow people to connect with other creators who are at the same level of business as them, to either share your wins, ask questions. There is that accountability as well. I know people have made accountability buddies, they've made joint venture partners together, and we do a lot of fun things like private events. We send out swag, we have challenges. So it's just like that additional element that adds a little bit more of a human connection when you're building an online business. You also get a year of group coaching. So this is because we know you're really inspired, you're really excited during this event, but you might have questions in like 3 months or 4 months. So you will have access to this. It is a group setting. You can get personalized feedback, and really that session is for you with the group. But what makes the summit special, what makes this an unusual time to buy Teachable, is that some of our speakers have been incredibly kind to include their premium courses in this offer. So the first course that you're going to get access to is from Kay Putnam. It is Clarity Week, and she's going to help you around pricing, about knowing how to find the right clients, how to get paid your worth, and also how to develop genuine trust with your customers to ensure that you're giving them the best experience. In this course, she sells usually for $97. And again, thank you to her for including it in. Course number 2, which is valued at over $400, is with Miss Tiffany Tolliver, who's actually speaking today at, I think, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And her course is all about the Spark strategy, which is how to either rebuild or establish a brand that isn't just nice and beautiful, but is very strategic. And she shows you how to do that in a day. And then I think you guys will be especially excited for this one, because you hadn't met Melissa until this point. I was beyond thrilled and grateful that you said that you wanted to include this course. I'm not going to rave about it. Melissa, can you share a bit more about what people can expect in this course? And thank you
Yeah,
again.
this one in particular, it was a course, and it's more of a it's literally a workshop. So we are working through the 5 core barriers to success in marketing and in really launching your thing. And so we go into visioning, and all of these. This includes my top 10 frameworks, the ones that unlock all the things for my people. So we get deep with visioning and dreaming. We get deep with understanding and defining your target customer, figuring out how to speak to that customer, how to drive those value messages, and how to build them. And we also dig into deciding between opportunities. I work primarily with multi-passionate entrepreneurs, so I have a couple frameworks in there for that. And we even dig into money mindset as well. So it's a killer course for the person who wants to get hands-on and just start working. And so I think the worksheets just alone add up to maybe, I don't know, I think we're over 40 pages, maybe 50 pages of worksheets.
Yeah.
So that's the focus on this, is a very hands-on. And then the one thing I'll also say about it is there's a backdoor into my community. And so you're actually able to, at 2 points in time during the course, submit into my Q&A and my critique session. So if you have questions, there is help 2 times during the course that is included in the free course too. So you'll be able to work with me directly if you buy this Teachable, if we sign up for Teachable today and get this bundle. And I just want to say I'm jealous because when I don't know, when I signed up for Teachable, y'all didn't have all this amazing like group coaching, community, this, that, etc. I'm really jealous when I'm looking at it. I'm like, I need to go back in there and dig in. Maybe I need some of that group coaching.
I know some people at Teachable that can hook you up if you need us.
Hey.
Well, also, if you're a Teachable Pro customer, like Melissa is, if you're watching this, you guys get all of this automatically. We value you being a customer. So yeah, both Melissa and if you guys are already on Pro, send us an email at summit@teachable.com. We've got you covered. And then course number 4 is Websites That Sell with Louisa. And her course is valued at over $100. And this is exactly as it sounds. So if you have been staring at that blank screen to create your website, or you're looking to revamp it, she's going to show you what to write, on your homepage, your about page, to really increase your conversions and ensure that you're attracting the right people. And then finally, you have premium ebook templates with Susie Whitford, who's actually going to be on a panel later today at 4 p.m. Eastern. But everyone loves templates, and this is for you if you wanted to sell any type of ebook or free, paid, whatever one you're looking at doing. She has 32 fully customizable individual page templates. So this is just going to speed everything up if you're wanting to do that. And most importantly, we have 30 days money back guarantee. So if for whatever reason you're on day 28 and something says, nah, I changed my mind, I don't want to do this, just let us know. There's no questions asked. We don't make you jump through hoops. You can cancel before 30 days. So just to recap everything that you are getting, one thing I didn't mention is that you're getting all of this by just joining Teachable, which is usually $119 a month. However, for the summit, we've also included a $20 discount. So you will be able to lock in $99 a month, plus over $4,000 worth of these bonuses and resources and group coaching. And the nice thing is that you are not locked in either. You get the $99 a month reserved for the year. But if you want to cancel it 6 months, you can. But yeah, I'm not going to read everything here. There's a lot there that we're including, but you get all that plus access to all of the replays from from the summit. Now, I say if you love this session. It was very clear in the chat that you guys love this session, but I think you will appreciate learning from Melissa even more. And so this is a fast action bonus that we're offering. One is a thank you for you showing up live during this session. And if you join the Summit bundle, Melissa has been very kind to include a power hour. So
Let's
it is
go.
yes, it is a live group Q&A. And we do this as a fast action bonus because this is her time. And if we have like thousands of people joining, it's going to be very hard for you to actually get your questions answered. So this is just for if you join before the end of the live summit that we're doing today. So within the next like 15, 20 minutes, you will also get access to this. If you joined earlier in the week, you will get this as well because it is a waterfall effect. You will also get the fast action bonuses that are happening later today. But I'm stoked for that because I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of people have very unique use cases or experiences that you can really dive into. Already said this, but if you're a pro customer, you will get this automatically. If not, email us at summit@teachable.com. And, we have some kind words from Teachable customers. I'm not going to read them word for word, but I like sharing these because the wins that people have, both on the platform with working with our team, but also even just what they've been able to do and the impact they've had is just, it's great to see. And by the way, if you guys stay till the very, very end, I will play a video where we surprise some of our creators with videos from their customers. Y'all want to cry at the very end if you haven't already cried. I'll save that. But I just want to say thank you again for Melissa. Let's just dive into the Q&A. And also let us know if you joined the bundles. We can personally welcome you as well. Okay. A lot of thank yous. Let me scroll up. There were questions. Let me go back up here. There was one about being multi-passionate.
Yeah.
And okay, hang on.
That's my jam. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah. How do you I think the question was around how do you communicate that you are a multi-passionate? Do you tell everyone everything you do? How do you kind of navigate that?
Ooh, that's a good one. Sometimes it really depends on the audience. It's exactly as with everything else, do you tell everyone all of your business? Not always. So I actually just say, I have a quick way to say it, that I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur with businesses in fitness, fashion, and coaching. So I have my quick 1-minute elevator pitch situation. But there are many customers. So I have a hair flower accessories business called Camellias and Curls. I have a dance business called Pun the Beat, which is very different branding, very different target. And I also have this business, Curly Executive. And so there are people in my dance business that have only ever seen me as Melissa of Pun the Beat. They've never met Curly. They don't know her. They don't know anything about her. So when I'm in dance, I speak to them in that way. These businesses do have different targets. So they do have different websites. But for the person who asked, there's a great book called How to Be Everything by Emily. And you can always send me a question as well on you can text me. My number's in my Insta. And that book goes through 5 different models that multi-passionate entrepreneurs can use to structure their businesses. And it gives you different ways. So you could choose that. But for me, I will say that saying all of my things in a concise way has paid off exponentially because I have a very high percentage of crossover. So essentially my people who buy, sometimes people go buy a worksheet and then they'll sign up for a dance class, and then they will buy flowers when it comes time, like Mother's Day, etc., or they'll refer me a friend. And so I've been able to increase my average customer value. So how much I make from one customer by I think it's about $70 increase because I tell them about all of my other things. And actually the refresh I'm doing on my website is literally for that purpose, to communicate all the things. It does help that my coaching business is a business that's geared towards multi-passionate entrepreneurs, though.
Yeah,
hopefully that answered that question.
That's a great point. And I think that kind of highlights the the larger point, which is that if you're multi-passionate, there's a reason why you resonate with these different things. And so it's not like they're just random. There's going to be people that are attracted to you for whatever it is that you talk about. And there's probably going to be overlap because of the person you are, the way that you communicate things, which is, I think, is hopefully going to be very reassuring for a lot of people. All right, question here from Barb Hall, who's wondering, how do you strike the right balance in your course design between learner accountability and learner flexibility? How do you know when you've hit that balance?
Learner accountability and learner flexibility. I'm having a hard time with what exactly do we mean by learner flexibility?
Great question.
Um,
I'm taking this as, holding people accountable. Like, hey, I noticed you didn't complete 4 assignments,
yep,
and like letting people complete
got
at
you.
their own pace. I think that's how I
Yeah.
interpreted it.
So that one's really interesting. So when people sign up with me, they know that we have a couple of things that have timelines. And so this is like I have a course called Launch in Full Flow, and it's integrated into my membership. And the goal is to get you launched in 12 days. So literally, people going through this right now, they end on Saturday. So they go from nothing to a functioning sales page in 12 days. And the that's a lot of stuff that we cram into 12 days. We do like visioning, money mindset. We get your logo done. We launch your page. We like, it's crazy. And not everybody can be on that timeline. And so what we do is I keep them on it. I give them the tools, but I'm always clear, like if any point in time you need that flexibility, let me know. And so I guess the real answer is I talk to my people. I set up a system and a structure that works, that can deliver in a certain period of time. I set up clear milestones, but I also have conversations with them. Another thing that we have been doing within my community, and my community is a little woo, y'all. We rock with the woo, and then we have a lot of very spiritual, heart-centered people. Is a lot of my members are really into human design and human design types. But there's also like Myers-Briggs, there's different things. But within human design types, they talk about your energy levels and what your best way to work is. So sometimes people will literally tell me, like, I am a manifesting generator, and therefore this is how I work. So Yvonne, who I threw up from New North Baby, she needs to rest. So Yvonne can only handle so much of me, and then she needs like a pause. And so I love her because when she met me, I had COVID. I was recovering from COVID. So I didn't have my full energy. And she was like, I don't know if I would have signed up if I met you as full energy, Melissa. But essentially what that means, what I'm saying is you have to modulate for your people, but I would still have a structure that makes sense for most, and that delivers, and to deliver the value within your course. And then from there, actually talk to your people. If you have a highly automated scalable course, maybe send a feedback request. And when you reach out to them because they've been missing milestones, don't approach it as you didn't get your stuff done. Approach it as, hey, I want to check in with you. I want to make sure you're still getting value. Are we good? And what do we want to do?
That's great. That's so interesting. The things that you share, I also, if you're starting out, if you're watching this, you're starting out, you have a small audience. I can't stress this enough. And I mean, we'll be talking about this in the panel too, starting small and then scaling. The things that you're sharing are so much more doable when you have a small audience, when you have a small community. You can really like ensure that you're helping everyone get through to those transformations. So I hope everyone, like, if you're worried, you're like, oh, I only have like maybe 3 people that would be interested in this, a weight lifted off your shoulder, because that means that you can really focus on those 3 people to ensure they get the results.
And just, can I throw in something with that? I had to break my program. I was building a program and scaling it. I invested in a high ticket course to be able to scale it and all this stuff. But when I did, the format didn't work well. So actually I added the 12 days because it used to be 12 months, but people weren't finishing and weren't getting things done. So I actually like let people expire, broke my program, and started again with a smaller group. Like basically started from scratch because I wanted to build it in the right way that would make me happy. And now we've like got I added the membership component because it works really well with online courses. And we only have about 20 people in the membership now, but like, oh my gosh, the people are amazing, amazing. And then, I do have a high ticket component in it, so I can still make my money too. So you have to find that balance. But I 100% would say that if you're building your thing and it's not coming out quite right, or you're not getting the level of feedback that you need, um, you know, definitely don't feel free to change it. And then if you're brand new, this is the best time to sit with your people. Don't necessarily go crazy trying to scale right now. Just sit in it and make sure it's this beautiful thing that you feel really good about before you push that button and accelerate it.
For sure. All right. I think we have time for one more question. I just looked at the time. We're already over. But I
Sorry.
no, not at all. Not at all. Okay. Let me just Okay, this is the last question we're gonna ask. There's so many good ones in here. Please reach out to Melissa.
Please.
Tag her on Instagram. Reach out to her because she just shares so much information, and there's no way we would be able to get through all of these. Danielle is wondering, what if we follow up with a student, but they do not respond, and then they contact us down the road and want to start again? Do we honor it for free? So I think this is specifically for the people you give grants that maybe don't follow up.
Ooh, is this so if and this one's really tricky. So I do try to stay firm. So I would literally say, when it comes to my paying, I'll answer this. Is it definitely for the free client or do we not know?
I think because she said, would you offer it? Would you honor it for free? I think those are the people that got in for free and maybe didn't
Got
finish it
you.
and then want to do it again.
For my free people who have come through and didn't finish it because it's happened, and then are like, "Hey, I want to jump back into this." If it's the online only component, and if I saw them killing it before, and then something happened, then typically I will let them. And part of that is because there's life things. Like I just had someone who had a murder in her family. Like there's some things that happen in people's families and just in people's lives that you maybe can't relate to. So if there is essentially a good reason, and that is obviously subjective, and or if they're like, this is going to change my life, then sure. Um, but but typically, I'm also a little bit more lenient with my timelines in terms of expiring and stuff like that with my grant winners if they've had these conversations with me. If it's my paying client, typically I don't make it work for them if they haven't fulfilled their commitments because it goes both ways. If they have where someone it's like kind of the same situation. If it's the same situation, whether it's paying or not paying, I do the same thing. If I have someone who just hasn't shown up, I track everything. So I literally I use Airtable and I can literally tell you every single time someone has done a Q&A. So I can go back and say, hey, you ended this course, but there were like 20 weeks where you did not turn into a single thing. So I can basically see if they made the effort. So case by case basis is the real answer, but hopefully that gave you a little color onto the how of how I do it. But it's usually I use data. I use data and then I use my gut.
Well, speaking of data, building off on that, in Teachable, you also can see from individual
Yes.
people how far they've watched videos, how many times, how far they've progressed. So, and use that as you will. Some people I know have used it when people said, I haven't gone through anything, I want a refund. And you're like, interesting, you've downloaded everything, you've watched it twice. Use that as you will,
And
but
so
you have
I
access
love
to that.
that. Just I have used that. So when the instance that I was speaking about, we didn't have Airtable tracking yet, and I literally went in and saw that she did every single video, and that
It's
was a big
helpful.
deal for me.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Melissa, I appreciate you so much. I am so glad that you brought this, and I hope you guys can see why we wanted to have this discussion because uh, I don't know what it is about the Teachable community, but everyone that we seem to attract is always in the mindset of wanting to help, wanting to be of service, and there's just this not dichotomy, but there's this issue that comes up when we talk about charging what you're worth and still wanting to help, and we see it across the board. So I hope this has helped to give you the answers, some new ideas how you can serve. And Melissa, I thank you again. Now to close things out, I don't think there's a better way than to show you guys this video that we did. I think it was 2019. We basically surprised a few of our creators. We flew them into New York. They thought they were about to talk about their courses, which technically they did, but we had another surprise for them, which I think will hopefully highlight everything that Melissa has said, as
Mhm.
well as knowing that if you even help one person, you can't even imagine the ripple effect that it can have. So thank you again, Melissa, and we'll see you
Thank
guys
you
in the
so
next session.
much. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Dude, I am a crier. Is this gonna make me cry?
I don't know.
Okay. Nice headphones, by the way.
You can press play.
Hi Benny, this is Tiffany. I wanted to just say something nice about you real quick. I've always loved your videos because you help me to not be afraid to make mistakes.
Hi Benny, to me you teach bravery. Maintenant, je parle français avec mes enfants, especially Frankie. She's going to learn French. And that is a wonderful thing. And I thank you so much.
Penny, surprise. To me, you teach moms that they're not alone on their parental journey.
So I thank you for Penny, for being Penny, and for being wonderful and helping us each through our own journey of our special needs kids.
Jessica, thank you so much for allowing me to have a better quality of life, and also thank you for teaching me how to be an advocate for other women. So because of your leadership and leading the way, I'm not going to get emotional, but I can reach out to people too.
Time you've put in, the work you've done, the research you've done, we can expand our studios and now welcome the youngest students, and that's because of the work you've done.
Nicole, I'm 60, and you've taught me so much about how to reach for higher heights.
Because of the example that you've been, I am finally ready to transition out of a career that I've been in for 10 years. I really owe a lot to you.
Hi Asad, my name is Javed. I don't know if you know me. So I'm from India, Mumbai, and without you knowing, you contributed towards my growth. I even won, the biggest talent show in my country, India, and I'm the first magician to do it. So I'm really thankful to your contribution. Keep doing what you do.
I'm speechless right now. I know of that guy, I've followed his journey. I've been super impressed, but I've never spoken to him directly before. So to hear that he actually learned from 52 cards, that's mind-boggling. That's awesome.
When I see pictures of their kids and their families, and being able to see that these are things that they're able to go and impact others, you just realize that the reach is so much further. And I know that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't decided to use courses and if I just stuck with one-to-one. And it's just a lot in a little bit of time.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I'm on the other side of this, but it was hard for me too. And I think that with most of the teachers on Teachable, they've gone through their own personal journey to get to where they are.
I grew up thinking that I was bad at language learning and that I didn't have the talent for it. And it's opened up a whole new world of possibilities to me. And I can see in their faces as they're telling me their stories that this is something that's truly been important to them and it's truly made an impact in their lives. And it's a privilege that I'm able to make that impact with other people.
Think about who do you want to help? I hadn't even met some of those people. I didn't even know what some of those people looked like.
I came into this just a mom who was really desperate to help her kid and then really wanted to share that information. You know that you're doing things for people, but then to see it all is